First of all, I have a disclaimer. I resist technology. And this paper deals with problems with technology to a large degree. However, I respect people who thrive on technology, and in no way do I want to offend anyone. For example, I don't own a cell phone. I probably need to get one. So I think I'll begin with an example, something that happened just yesterday. My wife and I wanted to tour the 9/11 Museum. One of the officials at the hotel where we are staying said I would need to get on the computer because these tickets, were timed, and I said no. We got on the tour bus and met some very nice people from Indiana. They said they also wanted to tour the museum. We saw them a little while later. They had debussed, I guess that's the word, before we did. And I said, did you get your tickets? Oh yeah, we got on the phone and got the tickets on the phone. I don't know how they got the tickets on the phone, but they got the tickets that way, and they said, we're going at 1:30. Well, what I decided to do, try to get tickets the old-fashioned way. That is, find them at the museum site. That's exactly what we did. The stamp time was 1:30. My wife and I got in line. Guess whom we saw way behind us? The people from Indiana. We got in about 1:35. So I rest my case. I didn't have to worry about a computer or a phone. I have another example, something that happened about a week ago. My wife and I were leaving our house to have dinner at one of our favorite restaurants in Nacogdoches, Texas. That's where we live. The students call it Nack-a-Nowhere. And the name of this restaurant is the Cotton Patch Cafe. So my paper has a tad of a southern bias. So what happened? I pressed my garage door opener, assuming the door would go down. When it didn't, I made the observation, inference, confusion, assuming the battery was dead. I next entered the garage and retrieved my wife's opener. It rests in her car. Alas, the door still would not shut. Following, I made another faulty assumption. Not too long ago, the springs, and I still don't understand why they were called that, on the garage door had to be replaced because one had broken and the other probably was a terminal patient given its age. So I asked myself, what if one of these springs has broken? Maybe one or both were faulty. When I entered the garage and inspected, I noticed that the springs were alive and well. And then this non-technical man had a brilliant idea. Look at the sensors, I told myself. When I did, I noticed the light was out on one. Why it was out, I did not know. but I guessed I had found the problem, and I had. My wife then told me earlier that day she had moved some boxes. Of course, the boxes were close to the sensor. So doing that likely had caused the mishap. All we had to do was read the owner's manual and go from there. Probably there was nothing complicated involved. Being intentional when I should have been extensional, I told myself even with the owner's manual, I probably would not be able to solve the problem. And a little footnote, one time I was trying to change a light bulb in the kitchen ceiling, and I brought down the whole fixture. I'm that bad. It's bad. Worse, it was Friday, and I would have to wait until Monday to call the garage door people. Still worse, I would have to pay a repair bill, minimum $70, really not that bad, for what would probably take a few minutes. Fast forward to Saturday, the next day. I had gone to the grocery store. When I came into our house, my wife told me she had repaired the garage door by reading the owner's manual and looking at the other sensor. I still don't know how she did it, and maybe I could have done it, but I resist technology. I can't explain why. Though time binding has many practical applications, there are times, it seems, when we falter because we don't build on what we should have learned. Why? Perhaps one answer is common sense is not common. For example, my wife, dog, 2 cats, and I live in Nacogdoches, as you know by now. Supposedly the oldest town in the state. There is a debate. My son-in-law is from Goliad, and he says that is the oldest town in Texas. Regarding NAC, as it is affectionately called, especially by the BINS, B-I-N-S, that is an acronym for Born in Nacogdoches. Never have I lived in a place where the power goes out as frequently as it does. Once, because of hurricane activity, we were without electricity an entire week, and we do own an all-electric home. So if I hear a clap of thunder or see a raindrop falling, there's a good chance we will be powerless for who knows how long. Surely there are ways to prevent this. I'm not a scientist, much less an electrician, but I've heard some places are never without power because underground lines have been installed. Finally, I reached a point where I could stand this no longer. So there's now a generator, not an inexpensive investment, camping out in our backyard. And I'm happy to report it's working beautifully. Peace of mind is truly worth a lot. I have mixed emotions about computers, especially since I grew up on a typewriter and pride myself on perhaps being the fastest typist in my Typing 1 class in the 9th grade. At times, I'm skeptical about sending emails because I truly believe bugs still have not been worked out. I'll never forget a colleague who a few years ago told me he had received a number of off-color jokes from a campus secretary, not ours. Why did she send you those, I asked. I wasn't supposed to receive them. Oh. He answered, but something went amiss, and I did. Alas, a few months ago, a listing of emails sent to us disappeared from our email board on our home computer. So to make a long story short, I called the place that furnishes our facilities. I was told our computer probably was at fault. We spent over $100 repairing the computer, only to get it back and have the email board flashing for about 30 seconds. So what I did, I called this company, Suddenlink, complained. Finally, somebody admitted, oh yeah, technician gave you faulty information. I said, well, then I think I should be reimbursed for the money we spent for repairs. Oh, we can't do that. Yeah, you can. You can deduct it from my bill. And that's exactly what they did. And then another incident very quickly at the grocery store. I got home, I learned it's a good idea to check your receipt. I had been charged $9.99 for a bunch of radishes that should have sold for 99 cents. I went back. I don't know whether the person at the grocery store was trying to be funny because she said, oh, you bought 10 bunches of radishes. No, I bought one. So I was reimbursed. So again, I know I can't escape technology, and I'm apparently not using my time-binding skills when I am faced with it. I could go on and on and on with examples, but because of time, I won't. And let me conclude by stating the very familiar Murphy's Law. If anything can go wrong, it will. And the corollary at the worst possible time. How very true. But once again, it seems many technological problems should not occur. Again, you know, to me, a lot of these, there should be answers before problems. Several of the ones I've experienced probably have happened to other people. Why weren't solutions found to prevent their recurrence? Simply stated, there needs to be a greater emphasis on time binding. Thank you.